Si comes tienes que lavar tu plato, Firulais. Anda, enjuágalo bien. No me gruñas. A ver, con la esponja eso. Y enjuaga bien que luego deja todo jabonoso. Eso así, muy bien, aunque de malas.
Welcome to the motherfucking lady. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Reacting to MVP's decision to bar Claressa Shields from any of their future events based on what took place this weekend, the official statement reads, MVP is aware of the incident during MVP's Rousey vs. Carano event on Saturday night involving physical contact by Claressa Shields.
I was in your way.
Towards Alicia Baumgartner. MVP maintains strict zero-tolerance policy for hostile, threatening, or aggressive behavior towards fighters, staff, media, or guests at any of our events. Physical altercations outside of the ring or cage are unacceptable in any MVP environment. MVP does not condone, tolerate, or accept Claressa Shields' behavior in that setting, and it reflects poorly on MVP and women's sports, which we've worked tirelessly to uplift. Effective immediately, Claressa Shields is banned from all MVP events until further notice. There is a time and a place for fighter tension and banter.
Shut the fuck up, Hey, get out of the way. I want to get in there.
No, no.
World star.
Not right now.
I'll referee. I'm calling her to be referee.
But to physically attack a fellow athlete while there as a guest inside a private VIP area is unacceptable. MVP would like to thank venue security for their swift response in addressing and de-escalating the situation, and appreciate Alicia Baumgartner not retaliating and further amplifying the situation. We remain committed to maintaining a safe, respectful, and professional environment for all participants and attendees at our events, and will continue to enforce these standards without exception. Even for the GOAT.
My question still is, why was she even there?
WBO President Gustavo Olivieri released a PSA of his own saying professionalism requires champions to conduct themselves as true champions. Straying from those principles can undermine the public image of someone who represents both the sport and its values. A champion is not only defined by victory in competition, but also by the example and inspiration they provide to future generations.
Well, maybe it's because Claressa Shields is a champion, but still a loser at the same time. She's got loser energy.
Addressing MVP's banment of Claressa Shields from any of their future events from a purely business perspective, it makes all the sense in the world to bar her.
Ban her.
Because I don't even know what she was doing there to begin with. When you consider that she's been taking shots at Jake Paul for the better portion of the last 5 or 6 years, the co-founder of MVP, taking shots at MVP as a company,
Taking shots at Amanda Serrano, who is their flagship fighter, taking shots at their stable of fighters.
so then why the fuck are you at their event? Who the fuck are you there to hang out with? Who invited her?
I mean, I don't know if it was MVP specifically, but if by some chance it was, and they gave her complimentary tickets to attend their event, that wasn't the cue to go starting shit afterwards. If by some chance either MVP or Netflix gave her complimentary tickets to attend the event was already over. Where this took place was at the after party.
Why are you there? You've spent the better portion of the last 5 years taking shots at that company's co-founder and the company itself since it was formed, yet you go out of your way to attend more of their events than you do your own promoters, and to see who you don't get along with. Most of those people.
It's like trashing somebody, then going to their housewarming or their baby shower.
Why the fuck are you at an MVP after party? If it was just about getting out of the house, taking in an MMA show, you could have done that and went home. Why are you at the after party? It's because you want to start shit.
What people are saying is that Claressa Shields was in the right to strike Alicia Baumgartner because Alicia said that she would beat her ass.
That is a very half-hearted explanation for what really happened. Do you think for a second that Alicia Baumgartner got all dressed up, did her hair, did her makeup, put on her heels, so she could go to the after party and get into a shouting match with Claressa?
Where's your common sense? You're telling me that in the thick of this after party, it's Alicia that walks over to Claressa and starts cracking wise?
Talking shit?
No, it was the other way around. In all likelihood, it's Claressa that walks over to Alicia Baumgartner. The same way that Claressa makes a decision to attend an event from a company that she's been disparaging for years now, the same way that she started the beef with Jake Paul, started the beef with Keith Thurman and Cameron Giles, is the same way she started this.
Somebody's stupid. Nobody believes that Alicia Baumgartner at this after party dressed to impress walks over to Claressa and gets the ball rolling for this. No, in all likelihood, it was Claressa trying to run down on Alicia because she's got no class.
You shouldn't even fucking be there.
No regard for decorum, no situational awareness, and no restraint, no control. She has the temperament of a 12-year-old. The boxing world is definitely divided on this one because there are some people out there going up to bat for Claressa Shields, defending her, but defending her from what?
It's not like she has very many friends at MVP, so why should it be a big deal if MVP bans her from their shows?
More than one person has used the slap in the Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant fight as a parallel.
A parallel for this.
Except that whatever happened between Canelo and Caleb was at a press conference for a signed fight. A fight that was already signed, it was already made, and whatever you saw was part of the promotion. This is not that.
There is no signed fight between Claressa Shields and Alicia Baumgartner, nor should there be, because Claressa's a fucking heavyweight.
This is not Canelo slapping Caleb Plant. This is not promotion. This is just more ratchet behavior.
Ghetto behavior.
And the same way that you can ban any of these ghetto gaggers from your place of business, your business establishment, is the same way you can ban Claressa from any of your events. It's not your right to be there. You're not actually doing any business on any level with MVP to where you can cause a melee just being a guest.
Causing chaos. Go cause chaos at Dimitri Salidas Promotions. Spend more time over there instead of trying to clout chase MVP as a company to be seen.
Nobody wants to see you.
And to be heard.
Nobody wants to hear you. Nobody wants you around. And as many times as you've taken shots at MVP as a company, why do you want to be around? Why are you there?
She's clout chasing.
Is it possible to clout chase a promotional entity? It very much is when you're the one who always takes shots at them, but you're the same one who always chooses to be there. Because you know, you get more seen at an MVP show just being there than you do at your own fights.
The reason she's there is the same reason that she goes anywhere and creates chaos. It's all an effort to make things about herself.
She's a fucking loser. And if you like this broad, it's probably because you're a loser too.
A fucking loser.
How do I know she's a loser? Well, it used to be that if you won a gold medal in the Olympics, you'd end up on a box of Wheaties, end up with sneaker deals, corporate sponsorships, and endorsements, where she has none.
She won 2 gold medals.
But just winning gold medals doesn't give you class, doesn't give you grace, doesn't give you charisma. That's why in spite of winning 2 gold medals in the Olympics, and all of these fucking belts in the pros,
fucking loser,
major brands won't touch her. She doesn't have any major brand deals.
When have you ever heard of a U.S. Olympian struggling to get a brand deal?
And don't bring up the colorism crap, because anybody from Jackie Joyner-Kersee to Simone Biles,
those U.S. Olympians ended up getting brand deals, so that can't be the reason that Claressa didn't.
Claressa didn't because you can't take her nowhere.
Isn't that obvious? That she's not marketable, not media trained, she has the temperament of a small child.
And all the charisma of a car accident. Insufferable. It makes all the sense in the world for MVP to finally bar her from their events because they're not doing business with each other in any way, shape, or form, and she's been publicly defaming the company for how many years now? So why should they keep extending you that professional courtesy when you are so professional.
Bitch, stay home.
Go bake papoose or lasagna.
A baked ziti, spare us the penance of your presence.
You ask me, MVP's been too nice to this broad.
Way too nice.
Offering her a promotional contract, allowing her to attend their events. They should have did this sooner.
Why don't you get the hell out of here?
What are you here for? Free food and liquor?
Go home.
You to talk to somebody? You want to rub elbows with somebody? What are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here?
Why don't you get the hell out of here?
People are chalking up the situation in its entirety to a case of causality. That, well, Alicia did say that she would beat her ass, but is that before or after Claressa tries to run down on her?
Because I don't think it was Alicia trying to run down on Claressa. I don't think at this soiree it's Alicia who walks over to Claressa and gets the ball rolling. You and I both know that it was the other way around.
I'm 100% confident it's Claressa who walks over to Alicia, gets the ball rolling, and she's the one who took it upon herself to make things physical.
You're gonna pretend that that's not up her alley, that doesn't sound like something Claressa would do.
There may be something to address in what Alicia Baumgartner said once the situation started, and we'll talk about that in another video. But as far as MVP banning her,
It's about fucking time.
they are well within their rights to do so, and I think they should have done it a long time ago. The moment that she started taking shots at the company and its co-founder, she should have been barred access.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Men's heavyweight news. Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardley update given by Frank Warren as he eyes a stadium for the sequel. Frank Warren expects Daniel Dubois' sequel with Fabio Wardley to take place in autumn, with a stadium being eyed. Dubois and Wardley met in what is being viewed as a fight of the year in the heavyweight division. Dynamite Daniel Dubois got the job done despite touching the canvas 2 times in a brutal clash. It was revealed just days afterwards that Wardley opted to activate his rematch clause in an attempt to win his WBO title back. The pair will need a few months to recover physically from the grueling encounter, and Queensbury Promotions promoter Warren has revealed to Talk Sport that the fight is now in the works. He explained they have the rights and have notified us that they want the rematch. If and when that happens, it will happen sometime in the autumn.
So how marketable is a second fight between Flavio and Zeniel?
They did manage to sell the place out. 18,000 in attendance for what was Dubois versus Wardley 1. In terms of pay-per-view sales, I really don't know, but whatever they did in the first one, they may do more than that in the second, because now people know what they're buying into.
The first one was a Fight of the Year candidate. The second may prove even better.
Now, when you consider that this is the heavyweight division after all, and everybody is always one punch away from being dropped, from being stopped. Where Daniel Dubois might have got the job done in the first one, Flavio may exact his revenge in the second. If and when it happens, it will happen sometime in the autumn. He must fancy his chances, and it will be a big fight, and no doubt an exciting one. On If the Showdown could land in a stadium, Warren continued, they want to dance again. We will make it happen. The feedback we've had from everyone has been incredible. I think it will wind up in a stadium. The heavyweight division is the most exciting it has been in ages. It is fantastic.
It's thanks to fighters like Daniel and Fabio that are willing to take on all comers. Even though Alexander Usyk currently holds 3 of the 4 major titles at the weight isn't logjammed.
It's not gridlocked because the fighters are making a decision to still fight each other.
The event was a blockbuster sellout with a record-breaking 18,000 fans flocking to the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester, and after the huge interest in their first fight, it will likely command a much higher audience. Many stadiums will likely be explored, including the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. On which stadium it could land, he added, we've done shows at Ipswich, Leeds, London, and all over the country. We take the fights to the people. That is the name of the game in promotion. There's lots of options. I want to do a fight at the Emirates, but I'm just trying to get them to knock down the price a bit. A huge second showdown is one that the pair will be gunning for. It poses a risk for Dubois, but he will hope to try and win in even more dominant fashion a second time out.
Rematches are often won by the fighter who can change. The fighter who can make adjustments from the first fight into the second, irrespective of what happened in the first fight. We've seen both Daniel and Fabio in rematch situations. Daniel in his rematch with Alexander Usyk that he lost in worse fashion than he did the first one, and Fabio in his rematch with Frazier Clark, where he came back better, took the guy out.
Does he come back better with Daniel?
We're gonna have a lot of time to think about it, a lot of time to mull it over, but on the face of it, at first glance, I think that Fabio can. I think he can come back better in the second fight, him and Ben Davison. I think they can devise a better strategy to where Fabio doesn't get right hand happy like he did in the first one, because scoring those 2 early knockdowns,
He couldn't handle his own success. Everything he threw after that was a right hand, to the point he became predictable.
Daniel saw the right hand coming and knew to get out of the way, and I can only maintain now what I told you before. He's got to do a better job of disguising that right hand, put a few more jabs in front of it.
Don't just 1-2 this thing.
Maybe you put 2 jabs in front of that right hand, or 3. Maybe you throw a couple of jabs and you don't throw the right. Do the same thing later, but you do.
You've got to disguise the right hand, because by now everybody knows you want to use it.
The adjustment that Flavio would have to make for this second fight isn't really a big one. It's just using your lead more.
Your jab.
That's all it's really about. That's how Daniel was able to beat him, by using his lead, using his jab. Fabio needs to do a better job of using his own, because he's actually faster than Daniel.
Snappier.
So he's definitely got to do a better job of disguising his backhand, but he's also got to use that backhand in different ways, because he kept throwing it like a looping punch when you can also throw it like a cross.
Or a straight.
Down the pipe, there are different ways to use the same hand, different ways to throw the same punch, and he needs to work on that too.
Why are you so confident that Fabio Wardley, more than Daniel, can come back better, can come back different?
It's because of who their trainers are. It's because, as a trainer, Ben Davison is more cerebral than Don Charles.
Don Charles is an old school guy and a great fit for Daniel Dubois, but he's not really an X's and O's guy, is he?
Ben Davison is. And with Fabio Wardley's natural toughness and natural gifts, his strength, and Ben Davison's boxing brain, I anticipate they're the ones that are going to make changes. They're the ones that are going to adjust. Daniel Dubois, he's going to come back the same way, fighting the same fight.
Doing the same thing, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's not the one needs to change. Fabio is.
I think Fabio will. By now it's established that Fabio can hurt Daniel Dubois, and he can put him down. He just needs to not be overzealous in the second fight, trying too hard to land the right. In the heavyweight division, you are always 1 punch away from being knocked out. For that reason, I like Fabio's chances in a rematch. I think he can come back better, and he can put Daniel down. When he does, this turns into a trilogy, folks. Based on how Daniel won the first one and how Fabio might win the second, we may get 3 fights out of this.
Some people think that Daniel may have beaten years out of Fabio Wardley's boxing career, that as a result of that beating, he may be irreparably damaged. I think, while he did take a beating, it looks a lot worse than it actually was due to the superficial cuts on the bridge of Fabio Wardley's nose.
He looked terrible, make no mistake, and he did take a wallop, but it just makes it look a lot worse when he's covered in blood and taking punches, taking punishment.
But just look at the speed at which they activated that rematch clause. What that tells you is, at least to Fabio, it wasn't that bad. So bad that he's not willing to run it back again? He absolutely is, because he likes his chances. And I do too. I've got Fabio.